After you've gorged yourself on mechanically separated meat wieners, and you probably look like one yourself, pop your crispy ass indoors until it gets dark enough outside for one of your delinquent nephews to flirt with blowing off some digits, and watch a few 4th of July horror gems. And not the basics like Jaws and I Know What You Did Last Summer. I wanted to bring you some that you may not already be familiar with. It's a holiday, y'all. We're going to start this off right with Uncle Sam, 1996, directed by Bill Lustig and written by Larry Cohen. This film stars Isaac Hayes, Robert Forster, and PJ Souls. A Desert Storm vet who was killed in combat rises from the grave on July 4th to kill the unpatriotic citizens of his hometown after some teens burn an American flag over his burial site. This is American as it gets, going straight berserk for some small time shit. I mean, a kid gets his wig lopped off for singing the national anthem like an asshole, which seems to be Sam Harper, aka Uncle Sam's modus operandi. This whole thing starts over burning a flag, yet he impales someone with one. What a fucking hypocrite. Uncle Sam seemed to pick up some steam after it was showed on Joe Bob Briggs' The Last Drive-In. And I love that. This film is pure Bill Lustig, and I'm here for it. Violence, gore, and a bit of humor. It lacks the grittiness he's known for in other films, but it makes it for it and fun, and a shitty Uncle Sam costume. Now to turn something a little bit more serious, talking about 1991's Cape Fear, which was recently turned into a series on Apple TV starring Javier Bardem and Amy Adams. This version was directed by Martin Scorsese and stars a laundry list of stars like Robert De Niro, Nick Nolte, Jessica Lange, Robert Mitchum, Gregory Peck, Joe Don Baker, and Juliette Lewis, who's going to drive you absolutely mad, I promise. A convicted rapist released from prison after serving a 14-year sentence stalks the family of the lawyer who originally defended him. Robert De Niro's performance in this is off the charts. He was nominated for Best Actor at the Golden Globes and the Academy Awards for his role as Max Cady. I remember when this came out, and they made such a big deal over his physical commitment to getting in shape, and it really pays off. He seems like a true tough-ass psychopath in this. His detail to the southern accent is commendable, and I know, listen to me. Nick Nolte pulls off the cocky asshole lawyer to the T, throw in the always on point Joe Don Baker, and you have a legit southern feeling film. This movie is a departure from Martin Scorsese's normal filmmaking. He pulls inspiration from older films with the over-the-shoulder composition in some of the shots and the way he shot some of the driving scenes. Supposedly, he was criticized for his overuse of the older-sounding score throughout the film. Personally, I think it fits the tone perfectly. It's beautiful and grimy. It reels you in as you feel the terror of a man trying to protect his family from a very capable man who is hell-bent on destroying everything he loves. If you haven't seen this version, I highly recommend it. It is truly a classic. Odd fact, Edgar Allan Poe's great-great-great-nephew, Edgar Allan Poe IV, plays a prisoner in the film. Sliding on up the coast to Maryland for some creepy crawly action. I'm talking about The Bay, released in 2012. It's directed by Barry Levinson and starring some people. It's full of unknowns, but it's actually well acted. Don't let that deter you. A quiet Maryland town descends into chaos when a parasitic outbreak infects residents, twisting their minds and turning neighbors into threats. You may notice this isn't the only film on the list dealing with ecological disasters and mutations. The parasites take over the victim's body and mind, so it's kind of like a zombie film, but not totally. It's shot as a found footage, eco-horror, and I think he did an amazing job capturing that. Also, capturing the chaos and pandemonium of a small coastal town. It's very realistic, and especially with the use of science and the cover-up by the local government and the CDC, it gives it a touch of legitimacy. This film's gained traction over the past couple of years in popularity, and I think that's definitely warranted. So slap some Old Bay seasoning on them parasites, bitches. This next one is by far my favorite on the list, and it is one of my desert island films. Let's get into it. The Return of the Living Dead, 1985. It's directed by Dan O'Bannon, starring James Karen, Tom Matthews, and Don Caffa. Oh, and Linnea Quigley, buck naked. An accidental military gas leak in a Kentucky warehouse reanimates the dead, triggering a localized outbreak that forces survivors to contend with an insatiable, agony driven hunger while the military prepares a nuclear containment solution. To me, this is the quintessential 80s horror movie. Great zombies, amazing dialogue, a ridiculous naked dance scene in the cemetery, and this film started the whole zombies wanting brains phenomenon. Honestly, if the government was going to pull some shit like this, it would happen in Kentucky, and for some reason they would trust us to protect the shit. The cemetery scenes are such a vibe, and it makes me feel like a kid every single time I watch it. James Karen is the perfect, clueless, hilariously dense, entitled boss. We've all had one.
It's all over everything! Stupid asshole! Watch your tongue, boy, if you like this job! Like this job!
Tom Matthews, who we all know from the Friday the 13th series, plays an 80s slacker perfectly. This film is fun, creepy, and just so damn 80s. Put this thing in a members only jacket and fire up that Fiero Tina. We're going back to Cali. Piranha 1978 technically isn't a 4th of July film, but this scene at the opening of the Aqua Arena feels like some straight Independence Day shit. So I'm counting it on vibes alone. Directed by Joe Dante and starring the legend Dick Miller, Paul Bartel, Barbara Steele, and Kevin McCarthy. When flesh-eating piranhas are accidentally released into a summer resort's rivers, the guests become their next meal. This is another mutant water creature eco-horror. Animal attack films seemed to be a thing in the 70s, and this one is one of my favorites. Joe Dante has always known how to mix horror, tension, and humor in his films. We get a drunk who gets his legs eaten off, a kid camp buffet, and a young woman who smashes a cop's head in with a toilet lid and then pantses him. It's pure cinema. Piranha spawned multiple sequels and a made-for-cable remake in 1995. The second film was actually directed by a young James Cameron. Both Dante and Cameron had worked for iconic filmmaker Roger Corman in their early years. Piranha will fill your need for body fish and feathered hair. Do you miss the days of digital cameras and the haute couture of low-rise jeans slash thong combo? Then I'm about to hook you up. 2006's Final Destination 3, directed by James Wong, who worked on American Horror Story and The X-Files. They really pushed the carnival theme in this third installment, even down to the opening credits font choice. It stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Chris Lemke, Amanda Crew, and Jesse Moss, who seem to be typecast as the all-around 2000 horror asshole, but he's not in this one. We also get a voice cameo by the late great Tony Todd. Wendy Christensen and a group of teens who escaped a fatal roller coaster crash face a bloody date with death. Of course, this fits the basic premise of the Final Destination franchise. As always, you get the trope of characters rationalizing all the deaths, and it makes no damn sense, and it drives me batshit crazy, but I watch them like everybody else because the death scenes are brutal, and they're just a smidge hilarious. I'd say that might mean I'm a fucked up weirdo, but hey, I make horror content. It's part of the job description. This one really goes hard in the paint on the gore factor, which definitely helps out because it isn't anywhere near the best of the series. But it's fun, and it definitely has that 4th of July feel. Pay attention to the ending credits. I would so hate for you to miss what may be the worst version of Love Train ever recorded. Besides that mess, I'd say it's a pretty solid film and totally worth giving it a watch. Completing my eco-horror trifecta is Frogs from 1972. I find the name funny because the frogs really don't do shit in this film. There's just a bunch of them. It's directed by George McCowan, starring a young, clean-shaven Sam Elliott, Ray Milland, Judy Pace, and David Gilliam. A group of helpless victims celebrate a birthday on an island estate crawling with killer amphibians, birds, insects, and reptiles. As with most eco horror movies, the basic story is some self entitled white guy pollutes the area and nature pulls his bitch card. Sam Elliott does what Sam Elliott does, and he steals the show as always. If Humid was a film, it would be Frogs. This is George McCowan's directorial debut, and he does a pretty amazing job of giving you that hot, creepy, crawly feeling. Frogs has a great atmosphere and storyline. So if you're a fan of animal attack films, you're definitely going to have a good time with this one. The last film on my list is a complete 180 from all the rest. It focuses on social commentary and sheds light on race issues, xenophobia, and misinformation, while still being entertaining. I'm talking about the Hulu original Culture Shock from 2019. It is part of the streaming services Into the Dark series. It's directed by Gigi Saul Guerrero, who has also did Bingo Hell and a couple of amazing anthologies like Satanic Hispanics and VHS 85. I cannot recommend checking those two out enough. It stars Barbara Crampton, Sean Ashmore, Sal Lopez, Richard Cabral, who is also known for End of Watch and Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones. And we have Creed Bratton from The Office. I know, it's odd. A young Mexican woman in pursuit of the American dream crosses illegally into the United States, only to find herself in an American nightmare. This film shows the stark realities of immigrants trying to cross the border in hopes of a better life in the U.S., from the fear of the Border Patrol to the fear of the people entrusted to get them there. Culture Shock has elements of science fiction and a bit of a Stepford Wives aspect, with a little dashes of the Matrix thrown in. I know it sounds weird, but it actually works. The colors in this film are a character in and of themselves. They highlight the complete different worlds that the immigrants are forced into. With the world climate as it currently is, this film is more relevant now than ever. But even with the message, this film still brings action and that 4th of July vibe. If you're going to watch any Hulu original, I think you can't go wrong with Culture Shock. Before you head back out to watch Braden blow up a mailbox, I want to thank everybody for watching. Let me know in the comments if there are any that you think needs to be added to the list. Before you head back out to watch Braden blow up a mailbox, I want to thank everybody for watching. Let me know in the comments if there are any that you think needs to be added to this list. Please like and subscribe, and have a safe and fun 4th, everybody. And remember, even on holidays, the kill floor is always up and running.